Hello there, I'm Richard. You're watching the Cabinet Wise Workshop. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'm going to walk around aimlessly. And while it's still not perfect, it is definitely progress. And that's all you can ask for. So today, I'm going to show a scenario where I'm troubleshooting a Lazy Susan cabinet, a little bit of an issue that came up that I had to resolve, and you can see that cabinet. Then you're also going to see me wrap up a bathroom vanity. Coming up very soon, another larger video I'm working on is a pretty neat video with very large rift white oak pocket doors that are made out of solid hardwood rift white oak. They have some decorative, as you'll see, little by little our shop is coming together. I have an actual workstation behind me. A little bit of a makeshift situation, but when you have maybe an hour here and there to put something together, you just work with what you have. I prefer Casey Neistat aesthetic of sort of homemade scrap wood thrown together in an hour. I mean, what do you expect this to be? Padula Studio? As you see, we have quite a few cabinets piled up back there. There's so much to get to. We are wrapping up so many full houses of cabinets. Just keep tuning in. You're going to see it all come together. You're going to see plans come together. You're going to see projects come together. Here we have the bathroom vanity I'm going to be wrapping up as well. I have these doors made by Caldor, the Revere raised panel door, with the B3 no lip outside edge and the number 2 inside edge, which is a little OG detail, and a C panel. C, solid stock drawer fronts, hardwood with a routed B3 outside edge detail. It's a paint grade vanity. It has a flat finished end because it's butting up against a tub. Yes, people still have tubs that are not freestanding. Maple dovetail drawer boxes, undermount Blum slides with the side-to-side adjustable locking devices. Even though we order most from Caldor, we do make some doors now and then. And that actually goes to this project, which is a maple island, which we made all these doors and panels. Microwave goes in there. There's something we have that's just about to go out on the Cabinet Wise super highway, the super productivity highway. See, we got this. Then we have this little job. It's just a little dresser, nothing too fancy, you know, a little dresser, and then a little custom vanity, a little tilt tray for toothbrushes, toothpaste, whatever. The drawer that is cut out for the plumbing. So just some miscellaneous items. And of course we got a lot of the larger projects, cabinets in various stages of sanding and putting slides on, and the cycle continues. So let's zoom in on our project for today. First, we're going to start with a cabinet repair. This is the part that's not so fun about cabinet making. Mistakes do happen. Sometimes things are humming along the production line and then you'll notice one little detail that's not quite right. So you pull that little guy aside and he deserves some special attention. So today, the special attention, as I previously mentioned, is going to this Lazy Susan corner cabinet. And the problem, as you see, is a fairly simple problem in that it is fairly obvious, but sometimes you don't notice obvious issues and you have to troubleshoot them later rather than rebuilding the whole cabinet. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So here we have a sink base connected to a Lazy Susan cabinet. So the issue I ran into is these doors need to be connected to the Lazy Susan. So oftentimes with Lazy Susans we use bifold doors. Range here, the sink here. This was the right call for this scenario. That being said, I did not make the right call when thinking about how to do this. In order for this to rotate, the frame backside needed to be mitered, which as you can see, it now is mitered. But see, originally when I built these, I did not miter it. As you see, the other one is not mitered here. So I'm going to do that one next. I was doing this one to try it out to see if it would work, and it did. So all is well. Even though I try to think of every detail, sometimes you overlook little details. And when I had originally laid this out, it made sense to make the openings as such, put the door in, and then you push it open. Well, once I pushed it open, the obvious became even more obvious, which is that this is just going to bind against the inside of the face frame. It really is obvious in hindsight, as a lot of these little things are, but sometimes there's only so many things you can keep track of. So that door sitting in there, when you push against this, it's only obviously going to bind. See, if only I was smarter, I would not have these problems. So the solution, to cut out a 45 on the back side, and that did actually solve it. So then, as you see, we can push this through. So watch what I do next. By the way, these are pretty neat doors. These were also made by our supplier, Caldor. These are a solid plank door. As you see, planks glued together. These are going to all be painted. They are solid plank door. You see the planks glued together. And they are routed on their CNC machine to have a 3/8 outside edge detail. So pretty cool. They'll sit flush inset in the face frame for this look here. It's a very unique look without being over the top. I like it. Never have done a door like that. It was ordered at the request of a designer. You know, I don't come up with every idea, but I do design some, and then sometimes I'm going off of the ideas of another person. But my job is just to make their dreams a reality. And oftentimes, I do. But sometimes it's not exactly when they would prefer. You know, my biggest struggle through my career has been being on time. That's just me being raw and honest, because our work is in demand, which is a great position to be in. I've worked a very long time to build up a reputation, to learn how to build a high quality product for a very reasonable price. However, due to the extreme demand and our small shop size, oftentimes gotten behind. But I try to have that happen less and less. Over time, I've learned lessons through difficulty, and I have risen to the challenge, and I have formed better systems, hired more people, whatever it takes. So we have actually a pretty good system in place now to be able to get all this done within a reasonable amount of time. And while it's still not perfect, it is definitely progress. And that's all you can ask for. You make progress every day. That's the reason we get up in the morning. That's the reason we keep going. We are improving each day. The next thing we're going to do is lay this on its back, track saw track, and then set this at a 45. You don't want to go all the way to the end. We're going to leave the final little bit for the chisel. There we go. No problem. And then you're right back where you should have been 2 days ago. All right. Let's grab our chisel here. See, this is the kind of high quality content you can expect. Bet you did not envision yourself watching this kind of disaster take place. A lot of life is actually ugly. But so many things don't go according to plan. Clean this up. Still could clean up a little more. that's nice about woodworking is pretty much everything is fixable. Richard here, tuning in from inside the cabinet. As you see, we've chiseled the 45 all the way up here and all the way down there. Now we're just going to sand this up and the repair will be nearly complete. All right, so we have both sides mitered up and down. So I've made each one of these doors about a 1/16 too tight because I'm going to be mitering the insides together. You can see that pressed against there is completely tight. So you can't even tell that that is beveled back on the inside, allowing the clearance that we need. Let me see from the back side. Now it clears. And even now it's a little tighter than it's going to be once I trim it to size. So let's go over to the table saw now and miter these two doors so that they can be joined together where they will spend the rest of their life as one. Gotta turn the table saw to 45 degrees. There we go. Now we have the gap that we need there. These come together like so. We are nearing the goal. It's not about whether you have setbacks, it's about whether you can overcome them and how quickly. It's kind of crooked, so now we just need to adjust that way. Does now clear, just as it needs to. Push it in, and it clears all the way around. Round and round we go. All right, so that is our finished result. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the final result. Now we can finish putting the rest of the cabinet back together. Put the backs back on, the walls back on, and then these doors back on. I took it all apart in order to remedy this situation. But before we get to that, let's do a quick detour and wrap up this vanity just really quick, because I want to illustrate what it's like in my daily life as I'm wrapping up multiple jobs simultaneously. And just like that, it's finished. And now this is ready to ship out. Now the hinge plates. All right, down to the home stretch, everyone. It's always satisfying to see the final result come together, especially after the suffering of having something go not as per plan. Yeah, that's not too bad. And the final moment we've all been waiting for. Let's bring these back around into the closed position. We have our completed Lazy Susan cabinet. What do you think, everybody? Did we do it?